Hello everyone, Mama Chronicles here, Johanna. Today we're going to talk about family dinner and traditions. We just had a family dinner yesterday and it was wonderful. We're blending two families right now. So my four living children and, partners' children, and then my husband, his three children. And so we're trying to pull it together. And I was reminded by the youngest of his child. One night we were sitting here talking about it, and I showed this child a video of my favorite brother, Eric, who passed away. And beautiful video, but it just brought back so much because in the video it had a little clip of family dinner. My love language is food, and so naturally this is a good go-to for me, is to bring everyone around food. And don't think for a minute I wasn't met with resistance, and I'm still met with resistance, so do understand that one. In fact, I remember the kids, a lot of them were teenagers when I first started implementing family dinners. And one of my sons, he goes, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do family dinner. I don't want to be obligated to family dinner. And he asked all his siblings, he goes, can I be voted off the island, please? Vote me off the island. That was back when Survivor was huge and still actually pretty big. And he's like, please, everyone just vote me off the island. I don't want to do family dinner. And I told him, too bad. This is, you live here, you're going to do it. And of course it's so funny now, but like his older brother had brought his girlfriend over. So this particular brother just was going to do everything he could to be spicy and cause mischievous things in dinner. So he was over there like putting his arm around the girlfriend, flirting, hugging, just to make his older brother mad. So we would, so there were some family dinners, and when, all three sons were in the house, and when Tom was alive, I mean, my boys are big boys, so do understand that. Dad is 6'5". Big boys. So they would wrestle in the house, and literally the entire house would shake. And there were a couple of dinners in the beginning where someone would end up running around a table, or we had a wrestling match out in the hallway, and it sounded like, running of the bulls. Were going through my house, and everything was shaking. But we kept to it. I was like, no, we're doing this every week. And my brother, Eric, who had came here to help me raise the kids, he was very faithful, always would show up, did everything he could to help promote and support family dinners. And the day came where, fast forward, I'm trying to think how many years, probably 10, 15 years of regularly hosting, in fact, for a long time, every week, family dinners. And then with all the deaths, so many empty chairs. And it became very difficult for me to hold a family dinner knowing so many were missing. And after my son's death, I remember the first family dinner that I hosted, and my brother was sitting down on the other end of the table. And I said, yeah, I know it's been a couple weeks since we've had family dinner. And he just said two words. He said a number, and he said days. He had literally counted, and it had been about a year, how many days it had been since we had family dinner. And two words, all that needed. to stress the importance that he placed on pulling everyone together. And I'm not good at this point, because I meet even the least little bit of resistance and I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm not trying to, upset anyone. But I need to remember, like, back in the beginning, I wasn't received well and I met resistance. But so many beautiful things have happened through the years with those family dinners. And so the conversation with my new stepdaughter, I said, you know what? The ebb and flow of a family is your goodbyes and your hellos. And I need to work through my own pain because there's so many living people to fill those chairs. And new people coming in, with the union of myself and my partner, brought more children. But also every child will get married and, may get married and their children, between the two of us, that's 8 kids. And the way my heart works, and I've told all my children, well, we'll start with my partner, Thomas. My partner, Thomas, I told him, I said, it's impossible for me to love you and not love your children because they are a part of you, period. And then what I have told my children is my role is not to choose your partner. If I see something really concerning, I will say something. But it's not my job to pick your partner. My job is to, when you do choose and you bring them home, that I open my heart to them too, that they are part of the family. Because that is something that my child, or someone that my child loves. So therefore, they are becoming a part of my child. And so same thing as with Thomas, the same thing with my kids. I love and accept you, but I also love and accept who you love. And they are welcome in my home. So, total success yesterday. I'm actually super happy. I don't think I'm gonna, and I didn't, I do want to tell you the resistance I'm meeting. I have one particular child, I'm not going to say a name, but they have fought me for the last 2 years on family dinner. Just criticism about this part, that part, and, and came at it from different angles. And honestly, it's probably a mechanism to deal with the pain of the empty chairs. And I need to accept that, yes, there's going to be resistance. And there isn't a whole lot in this world that is pulling families together anymore and working for the family. There's so much to pull us apart. And so we gotta step in and be that glue, and it's not going to be easy, when everything's trying to pull us apart. So like I said, I don't know if I'll be good about every week, but I already put it on the books. 2 weeks from now, kids, because I know they're all really, really, really busy, and I got to schedule myself in. But told them family dinner, and I am going to try my best to bring back this tradition. I feel like this is an important healing part of our family, but also to everyone listening to me, about the testimony of, a simple tradition. And it doesn't have to be family dinner. It can be so many different things. Like one of my sons, his wife, so his new family, it's like a movie night every Saturday, because they're getting adult children, they're marrying. And so, finding a way to still bring everyone together. There's usually someone who's a glue in a family. But there could be multiple people, like my brother Eric was definitely glue, and I was glue for the longest time until, you know, tragedy struck. But I need to figure out, and I am, getting past my own wounds, my own pain, and celebrate the joy. And yesterday was beautiful. I I was able to get to know some new kids, and that just to be in a place where I can open my heart up and feel that and experience that and be a part of, you know, just pulling our tribe together and being there for each other. And it's a small gesture, but that's why you're met with resistance, because it's a powerful gesture. We're tribal. We need each other. We love each other. And no, it's not convenient. It's never easy. But it's worth every bit of it. I mean, I'm still on cloud nine today. Just having everyone over and to watch everything play out. Same song and dance that we did years ago, just some different people, but still some of the old people too. And so as a mom, this is also helping, the ones of us that are still standing, how to move forward and to, accept the goodbyes and the hellos. And if you have any years in your life, you're going to experience that. Unfortunately, my children are experiencing it at a young age, which I can't change that, but I can certainly go through it with them. To celebrate our lives, to celebrate the ones that have passed, and to celebrate all of our new loves that are coming in. Family tradition, we are stronger together than we are apart.